Hello. I'm so glad you decided to check out our YouTube channel. So let's get started. This is the third part of a four-part series entitled The Leader Grows and Achieves by Intention. So today we're talking about the intentions around cultivating gratitude and a growth mindset. Why are we focusing on this particular topic as a part of this series? We believe that gratitude and a growth mindset is really one of the primary anchors of to a leader's success. And not only do we believe that, but the literature, the evidence is there to validate that these are two areas that the leader needs to think about and to think about how and reflect on how they are integrating those key principles into their leadership practice. So just a quick look back. Session 1 focused on prioritization and focus. So we gave some practical tips on how the leader can really ensure that the vision, their strategies that they have reflected and that it's clear and they know what the most important things are for their success. Then in session 2, we talked about continuous learning and reflection. Let's look back a little bit on what we covered in session 2 or part 2 of the series. The context is that the world is changing rapidly, changing at a rapid pace. And so the leaders in today's world need to be equipped and prepared to work in this environment. So two things the leader needs to think about is that how do they remain relevant and adaptable in this speed in which we all work in. So we talked about two types of learning, transactional and transformational. So it's important that the leader equips himself with all of the technical skills that they need to function in this global environment. But they also need to think about what are those things that will help them to not only transform themselves, but also transform their teams as well. So how do they communicate? How do they connect? So transactional, so those, skills that you need, so those technical skills, but also transformational. And the final thought or the key strategy that we shared is that every day you have to make a commitment to grow daily, but not just like acquire skills and knowledge and have all that information, but also to ensure that you are acting on that knowledge that you require. As John Maxwell said, to reach your potential, you must grow. And to grow, you must be highly intentional about it. So we must have an intentional process so that every day we are growing. So let's jump into this, into part 3. So we want to explore the importance of cultivating gratitude and a growth mindset in leadership. So if you go to the internet and you type in gratitude and growth mindset, you will get thousands of hits, all saying that it's really, really important to help us to be the most effective leaders. So we want to make sure that, again, not only do we have knowledge, but how are we using that information? So we want to be clear, how is it contributing to our leadership success. So we're going to use a coaching approach for this session today, meaning that I will ask you lots of questions. So stop the video for a moment if you're just looking at it on your phone and it's not easy for you to take notes. So get a laptop out, get a tablet, pull it across, get a note paper, because we're going to be encouraging you as you go through this video to really do some reflection and actually write a few things down. So gratitude is the practice of acknowledging and appreciating the good in our lives. So when we look around, we're able to define and see what's positive, what's good in our lives. So gratitude is often referred to as an anchor. So William Arthur Ward said, gratitude can transform common days into Thanksgiving, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities in blessings. So as a coach, when I am interacting with my clients, I often take a breath and breathe in and say, I am so grateful for the work that I get to do. So just appreciating where we're at and the things that are good in our lives. So what are some of the benefits? So as I said on the outset, this is a well-researched area. Tons of evidence is available. I'm going to share with you, and on the screen you'll see just 7 ways that if we practice gratitude, so that simply means that we're willing to look around in our lives and see the things that are good. It improves our physical health. We get better sleep, better relationships, improves psychological health, improves self-esteem, improve mental strength and resilience. We hear lots about resilience in conversations today. Enhance empathy and reduced aggression. So basically, when we show up in the world, we show up as the best version of ourselves just by every day choosing to see what is good in our lives. So ask yourself, do I recognize the good things in my life? Do I have a habit of stopping for a moment and just recognizing, being grateful for the things that I have, the job that I have, or the career that I have, or the business that I have, the friends that I have, the ability for laughter, to enjoy nature, to enjoy the arts, to enjoy music, to enjoy the hug of a friend or a partner, the joy of playing with a pet. Do you stop and say, I am so grateful? So these are the questions that I want you to take a moment and reflect on. So from a personal level, what are 3 things you're grateful for in your leadership journey? So take a moment, write it down. Because this is a video, you can stop it. And then I also want to encourage you, how about every day stopping for a minute and writing down what are 3 things you're grateful for? Then if you want to engage, if you are a leader of people, you're a people leader, how can you encourage your team to share their gratitude and appreciation for each other's efforts? So now not only are you building your capacity, but you're also helping your team as well. Let's talk for a minute about embracing a growth mindset. Mindset is really the key enabler of everything, because if you don't believe it or you can't see it, most likely you will not achieve it. If you're a people leader, I'm sure you have at least one or two examples where you may have had a team member that wasn't performing as well as they could, and you encouraged them and really demonstrated that you believed in their ability. And all of a sudden, 3 months, 6 months later, they are performing at a different level. So, a part of having a growth mindset is really that belief that abilities can be developed through dedication and effort. And if we're a people leader, can we coach? Can we mentor? Can we support? So Carol Dweck, who is known as one of the mindset gurus in her book, Mindset, the New Psychology of Success, says becoming is better than being. So really just focusing on that continuous growth. And we started off by gratitude. So using that gratitude for being grateful for where we are today, and that encourages us to even want to do more in the future. This mindset allows us to embrace challenges as opportunities to grow. So instead of going, oh my God, what's going on here? You take a deep breath. And when challenges come, you say, what is the opportunity for growth? How can this particular situation help me to become an even better person or an even better leaders? So all of a sudden, we start looking at setbacks with curiosity, which helps us in turn to develop our resistance. Here are some questions again. I promised you some questions for your review. And then if you're a people manager, how do you look towards your team? So, at a personal level, how can you view challenges as opportunities for growth in your leadership roles? What are some of those things that come up and it's just not happening? With one of my coaching clients recently, one of her senior leaders was behaving in a certain way. And so one of the things that we talked about is what could be going on with that person. So now you're leading in with curiosity. And guess what? When we do that, often we uncover things that we may have missed if we were just upset because of what was happening. So when you're faced with challenges, think about, how can I view this as an opportunity for growth? From a team perspective, how can you create an environment where your team feels encouraged to embrace challenges and learn from setbacks? Like, for example, on your standard agenda, when you're meeting with your teams, do you create space to have those kinds of discussions so that your team feel relaxed and they are willing and supported, they feel supported to discuss not only the great things that are happening, but also any challenges or any setbacks. And the whole discussion is around how can we learn from this so that it impacts how we work in the future. So again, stop the video, give yourself an opportunity for reflection, and write down your answers. Because the key is, it's all about integration, right? So one of the things that we do at Diamond Cut Leadership Network as we're working with teams is we help them to focus on one small step towards your goal, one small step towards new behavior, right? Because we know those small steps lead to bigger things. Often, I sometimes use a bottle of water and pouring it into a glass by drip, by drip, by drip, and all of a sudden the glass is full. So one small step, So, on a personal level, what action steps are we going to take to incorporate these quick tips that we have shared in this video? Incorporate gratitude and a growth mindset into your daily leadership practices. And how do you engage your team? So, how can you foster a culture of appreciation with your team? Or if you impacted the organizational level, how can you do that as well? So we're leaning towards action. It's not about just knowing, but what are we going to do? So as we are beginning to wrap up this quick micro learning session, let's think, what are the specific changes we can do to cultivate our growth mindset and our leadership style? And how can we involve our team? Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about the effort, it's about the consistency of working towards. So when we say specific changes, for example, you may write something like, I'm going to start each day with a gratitude practice. I am going to get myself a gratitude journal, whether it's electronic or hard copy, and I'm going to start practicing from today, right? I am going to make a consistent effort to begin to see those challenges as opportunities for growth. And I'm going to start journaling, adding to my journal maybe one or two challenges that you face during the day. And then what did I learn from shifting how I look at that challenge? I'm going to cultivate a learning mindset. So I'll start seeking feedback, learning from mistakes. One of the lean experts that I admire, his name is Mark Graban, and he has an entire podcast that's focused around leaders coming and sharing the mistakes that they have made along their leadership journey. Because when we're able to look and reflect and learn from our mistakes, we start to create the kind of mindset for us that it's okay to make mistakes. The key is learning and moving forward. And when we do it for us, we model it for the teams that we have the privilege to lead, and we create more innovative, more creative teams that open the space for doing amazing things. So foster a culture of appreciation. How are you recognizing and celebrating the contribution of your teams? How are you recognizing and celebrating what you do? Recently, in one of my coaching sessions, one of my amazing leaders who I get the privilege of coaching, she's was really just slaying, doing some amazing things. And so I said to her, how did you celebrate that? And she looked at me like, what do you mean? How did I celebrate it? She was so busy achieving that she wasn't taking a breath and learning how to just be able to recognize all the amazing things that she was doing and to be able to celebrate. Guess what? When we can celebrate ourselves, it makes it much easier to celebrate others. So I want you to get out your WWW. So that you're writing down. When you write those actions, who's going to do it? Is it something you going to do as another member of your team? What is it that you're doing? And when are you going to do it? And keep checking in, because as we do those small actions, we make those shifts, benefits to us and benefits to those that we lead. Here are some additional resources. So 2 books and 2 articles that you can check out so that you can continue to grow. And how do you practice more gratitude? And how do you shift your mindset to a more growth mindset? Remember that we're always there to support you. I clicked a little bit quickly there. We're always there to support you. If you want some one-on-one support, um, check us out. I'd love to have a conversation with you to talk about our a 90-day coaching program where we help leaders to incorporate all these amazing principles, customize it to their needs so that they can accelerate their performance. So there's lots of content on YouTube. So we appreciate you for stopping and actually watching and listening. But more importantly, we hope that you're walking away with one small thing that you can do to grow and reach your goals. Remember, gratitude can transform common days into Thanksgiving. So let's focus. Remember, what are we grateful for? And then how can we see obstacles as and challenges as opportunities? So join us next week. The fourth part of the series will be released, where we're focused on facing the fear factor. Our fears and limiting beliefs often stop us from achieving what we can achieve. So check us out. Look forward to seeing your comments in the comment section. And of course, reach out for a complimentary session if you would love to have me walk alongside with you on your leadership journey.